Quick presentation, only time for questions. Brian Swenson, with the Global Foundation Services Group at Microsoft, Network Strategist. I want to explain a little bit why I'm here. Many people may not think Microsoft, they think we make shrink wrap software. But we have a big software plus services strategy. Every one of our shrink wrap have an online component. Windows Live, Hotmail type applications, Office Live, Xbox Live, all have an online component, as well as they connect into all our other portfolio of devices. There's 400 million plus Windows devices out there. They all connect to the internet if they can. So it's a very large network, and to your point, looking forward to content, private peer, and connect. Yes, the large one has been there for a while, and that's going to continue. The question is, will that be the only user premise? I didn't know that part. Here we go. Services designed to scale at tens and hundreds of millions will change the nature and cost of solutions. Do you think that's about right? Bill Gates said that about 4 years ago. We must build a platform of capabilities and operational infrastructure to take the services to a scale never seen before. I think that's going to happen. Pretty awesome. We're going to invest in more data centers globally. We're going to focus on traffic location. We're going to geo-deploy more of our services. We're going to put more fiber and enable fast performance global locations. President of Division Kevin Johnson. So your content is going where you're talking about. We've been going there for a while, but it's getting to a very large scale. Just want to talk briefly about what we're seeing as far as our evolving requirements. Scale. The scale at which we're deploying servers today to support our online component, we deploy more servers every month than we had in our infrastructure 5 years ago. 5 years ago, when we looked at our network architecture, we had 14 different network architectures. We couldn't multiply our deployment rate so much without a structured hierarchical architecture. Today, we're 99% of our servers are deployed in one architecture. Traffic load and shift unpredictable. The flat line you showed, Hunter, it happens. We do release a new version of software. Patch Tuesday. A large news story happens. Those events happen. We've had incidents where a data center did 8x normal traffic because of just a release. That scale is going to continue. That traffic shift, that load is going to continue. Reach. You can't just put data centers in the US and think they'll be good about it. We have to deploy our servers and services around the world. We deploy our services to 237 different countries. We track performance even the 92 users in Antarctica last month. So geofishing is critical. How many of you were impacted by the Taiwan quake a year and a half ago? Who wasn't? I mean, critical parts of the infrastructure can fail. Just putting yourself in one spot, potentially you'll be isolated. I think we've all learned a hard lesson. So geofishing is critical. At the same time, I need to deliver everything for a cheaper unit cost than last year. You need to go to more countries, push more bits for less than I spent last year. So cost pressure is critical. One great way to get closer to end users is to actually deploy an edge network where you have your content, your applications closer. Deployment speed and agility. Talked about our speed that we're deploying servers at today. Modular type of deployments, so that could be as simple as 20 racks that just we pre-deploy ahead of command, or today's world is deploy containers. Just a 40-foot container building block, plop it in. Deployment automation, really scale. We really take humans out of the deployment process. Humans, we make errors, we're slow, we can't think as much. We need to have it just fully automated, point, click, go. The carriers in the group, most of you probably commit to a normal 90-day delivery cycle. To get services from Microsoft, we're asking for a 3-day delivery cycle. The technology and the DWA platforms is there. Point, click, bill. It's the billing, it's the provisioning, it's the order entry, and the carriers that are slowing it down. So 3 days is what we're allowing them because of those problems. In 2 years, it'll be 3 minutes. And pretty much you will need to be able to deploy capacity at that granularity, at that speed, or deploy far more capacity than you need, and just hoping that happens. Technology evolution, I think that's a big part of today's talk. By the end of this year, hopefully the last Sonnet circuits will be gone from our network in the US. We just have a few left at this point. We have a few that are in submarine systems which don't support Ethernet. But 10 gig Ethernet is the direction we've been going for a long time. I like telling this story. In 2003, Microsoft bought 10 gig Ethernet. About the moment it shipped, we ordered those cards. We put out a request for proposal. We wanted to connect our data centers to our peering points with 10 gig Ethernet. Asked every carrier we could think of. Every single one no bid. No one delivered 10 gig Ethernet in 2003. So we went and bought the gear and deployed ourselves. Fast forward 2 years, 2005. Same footprint, upgrade the system, 17 carriers responded. Quickly the market has seen Ethernet is the way to go. As well as we're seeing an offloading process, here for the leasing discussion earlier. You need a front in which every server that delivers services to a web page with some load balancer, some type of appliance. You can't just have a single server support Hotmail or message. So you have some appliance, and those appliances are pretty sophisticated. They're doing SSL termination, they're doing cache, they're doing compression. Those ASICs can do things far better than say a OS stack with Apache or IS. So that's my high-speed presentation. You want to do questions now, Hunter, or you want to do one more?
No. If there's any, ask if not. So,
I think I know half the audience here directly, and they've heard the speech before. So, anyone, any questions? I'll ask the audience questions. I'll follow up. So, I'll ask Mark Levy in the corner there. Are you guys deploying any Sonnet circuits?
Smallest port we've got in Europe on anything is a gig. We had a voice customer ask for 100 meg service, and we forced them to take a gig. I think there are Sonnet ports still sitting at PAX. God knows why. Everything's 10 gigs. It's too easy for the carriers to deliver it. It's too cost effective for us to use it. That's the end of it. Atlantic-wise, all the submarine services are now 10 gigs.
Yep.
Everything else is gone.
Trans-Pacific as well? Not every system,
Not every, on a couple of systems.
The ones who are smart, I think.
What's your plan for expansion of the network? Are you planning to come?
We announced a $500 million data center build in Dublin earlier this year, so we have a large facility in Amsterdam. We're definitely Western Europe, moving eastward. I think there were rumors of a Siberia data center. I'll dispel those rumors yet again. We're not looking at Siberia.
you don't need much HVAC out there. Just open the window.
Yeah.
That works. I have a question. Just enlighten me. When Microsoft builds a network, its own network, you're buying dark and lighting it, or you're buying waves from
A little bit from column A, a little bit from column B.
Yeah.
So both, yeah.
Okay.
As appropriate.
I've seen
Fiber scales far better, and we consider that superior. In some cases, lit meets the needs just fine.
Yeah.
What percentage of your delivered bandwidth is video?
I don't have that number off the top of my head, but I would say it's probably 20 plus. I mean, right now,
In line with what others are saying about.
I don't think we have a YouTube level share of the video market. I think we have a decent share. I don't exactly use it. Streaming video, whether it be, or offline cache content is probably the fastest growing segment clearly.
What is the growth rate of that?
Again, I'd have to, I don't know if
Like is 20% going to 25 or going to 55?
Well, in general, our traffic is growing over 100% year over year. So video, if it's growing faster than other pieces, it's higher than 100%. And we all remember the internet was just a collection of T1s. So 100% growth wasn't that much. The internet's a collection of hundreds and hundreds of terabits, and it's still growing 100%.